Hey guys, this is Rax425 from Rax425.com, and I'm making this video today to explain why building a desktop is much more efficient and cost effective than buying an expensive laptop for college. And the reason why I say that is that buying a powerful laptop is nice, yes, and having all of that power at your fingertips on the go is glorious. But how often do you actually harness or use that kind of power on the go? And this is a question that everybody has to ask themselves, is that when you're buying an expensive computer, is what am I going to use it for? Am I going to use it for gaming? Am I going to use it for creating documents? Am I going to be using it for video editing and audio editing, photo editing, or all of the above? You know, because everybody has different needs for computing. So the main thing is if you do travel a lot, which college students generally don't, it's just nice having the convenience of a computer in, say, a classroom setting to type notes and edit documents and things of that nature. Things that a perfectly capable $160 Chromebook can do rather than spending $1,000 to $2,000 on a MacBook or a Razer Blade or just some outrageously expensive laptop where a Chromebook can do the same exact thing. Here's what I suggest. This is my recommendation. This is just me just entertaining myself with these ideas of mine. Is that what I do is that, say, I would save all of my heavy computing, say video editing, photo editing, gaming, all that stuff for my desktop, and then have a Chromebook, a cheap Chromebook. They're really, really competitive in the pricing. You're talking about $160 to $250 for a good one, and you can do all your document editing and everything with the Chromebook and save all your heavy computing for really heavy tasks like video editing and gaming and things like that for your desktop, and would be extremely cost effective rather than spending $2,000 for just a laptop. And the thing about it is that building a desktop is going to be a lot more comfortable for heavy computing than your laptop will be, because you're looking at a 13 to 15 inch screen for hours on end, as opposed to building a desktop and hooking it up to, say, a 40-inch monitor like mine and doing your heavy computing there. Now, naturally, you can hook your laptop up to a 40-inch monitor like this, but why do that when you can build a machine that's 50% more powerful than a laptop and hook that up to the monitor and use it? Thing about it is even if you do have a powerful laptop, it can get incredibly cumbersome very fast doing heavy computing on a smaller screen. And it's just more comfortable to do things on a desktop because it's faster, it's easier, and everything just looks better on a desktop as opposed to using a laptop. And the thing about it is you can also upgrade the components in a desktop. Whereas you buy, if you spend $1,000 building a desktop, you're investing in the future. Whereas if you spend $1,000 on a laptop, that's it. You can't upgrade it. You can't upgrade the processor, the GPU, if it comes with a GPU, because there's some $1,000 laptops out there, they don't even have a GPU. So, but you can't upgrade it. About the most that you can upgrade in a laptop is going to be the hard drive and the RAM, and that's it. And that's not very efficient at all. So the thing you're paying for with a laptop is the convenience of portability, and that's it. Whereas with a desktop, you're tethered to an office desk setting, and you can't carry it with you. And that's basically the premium that you're paying for a laptop. And thing about it is not only are you making an investment for the future with a desktop, but it's cost effective as well. You don't, when I say if you spend $1,000 building a desktop. It didn't even cost me $1,000 to build this desktop. This desktop has an i7 2600K CPU, which is kind of an older processor, but still great to today's standards. You know, a GTX 970, 4 gigabytes of RAM, water cooling system, a Corsair water cooling system, and 8 gigabytes of RAM. And I think if I tallied up all the parts that I did a video about it like a year ago when I tallied up all the cost of all the parts, and it was like something to the effect of $600 or $700 for this build. So, and you can build a way better desktop than this for about the same amount of money now, which, you know, I think I'm going to give this desktop another year or so before I just decide to completely rebuild it. But that's the thing about a desktop, is that you can just constantly add and take away and do what you want with it, customization. And that's and not only do you have the freedom of customization, but you're also getting a better build. Whereas with a laptop, you're not getting that. You're not getting the freedom of customization. You're buying something that is set in stone. You cannot change it. That's it. And the thing about it is, well, they say, well, you know, what if your budget isn't $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever for an super expensive laptop for college? What about the sub $500 laptops that you see at Best Buy and Walmart and Target and places like that? Well, the thing about those is with the cheap laptop, you're more or less just buying junk. And the reason why I say that is this video, I could assume, will get some dislikes because I'm saying this, is sub $500 laptops are cheaply manufactured. Most of them are just plastic. They're flimsy, they're breakable, and they're loaded down with trashware from the Windows operating system. And the thing about it is that most manufacturers will pay a premium to be able to load Windows 10 on, or Windows in general, on their laptop. So, and then they put all their bloatware on it. So basically, by the time you get done and have the finished product, the sub $500 PC, you're basically buying a large paperweight that's slow, inefficient. Yeah, you got a full operating system, you got a full Windows operating system, but it's so slow that you can't do anything efficiently. Forget about video editing or gaming or doing any kind of intensive computing. And basically, at that point, all it's good for is internet applications and documents online, which is what a college student would be mostly doing anyway. So why spend the $300 to $400 to $500 on a cheap laptop when you can just spend $100 to $200 on a Chromebook that does the same exact thing, and it does it faster because it's got flash storage as opposed to a traditional hard drive that's got a ton of space that you'll never use because the computer is too slow anyway. And just go with the Chromebook. It's got flash storage. It's super lightweight, easy to put in a bag. Some of them have great battery life, and it does everything you just need it to do as far as documents and web-based applications and things like that are concerned. And you don't really have to pay the middleman, the manufacturer that had to pay the premium to put Windows on the laptop and to build a cheap computer. So I say, don't buy the cheap laptop. Don't buy the cheap Windows laptop. If you're going to buy a laptop at all, don't buy anything less than something with an i7 processor with a GTX GPU in it. Because if you're going to buy a laptop, make it worth the purchase. Because usually 9 times out of 10, the sub $500 laptop is just not worth it, because you just can't do anything with it. I mean, yes, they're more powerful than they were a few years ago, but when it comes to doing things, most of the things that you would like to do on a computer, you just can't, because it's just too slow. And yeah, it'll probably load up Adobe Premiere Pro, but it's going to be so slow that, you know, it's not going to really be efficient to do a project on it. Now, as far as $500 desktops are concerned, now you can build a desktop for $500 or less and get a 10 times more powerful computer than that of a $500 laptop. And I mean, of course, that's the case in anything. But what I'm saying is that you can still build a great desktop for $500. You know, you can get it with an i3 processor, a Radeon a graphics card, or you can find a lot of cheap GTX graphics cards now. Usually GTX is the more expensive option, but if you don't want to go with the GTX because of the cost, then go with the ATI graphics card, because they're cheaper and they're still great graphics cards. I mean, the market as far as graphics cards are concerned is pretty much AMD and Nvidia, and that's it. So you know, Nvidia is your more expensive name brand option, and ATI is your more cost effective option. Both are great cards, and if you're buying a more cost efficient, or if you're building a more cost efficient computer, then definitely go with the ATI graphics card. You can get 8 gigabytes of RAM. RAM, you know, comes a dime a dozen. I mean, it's really cheap to buy. Some people use PC Picker, Newegg, and Amazon. Personally, I use Amazon when I'm building a new PC. I've got a few videos where I built custom PCs on my YouTube channel. Of course, they're kind of old, so it's like in last year's videos, but I'll post a description to them. I'll post a link to them in the description down below, so you guys can check it out. And if you're interested in my say the build that I've got on my desk, then I'll put it in the description down below. I'll put links to all the parts, and of course I built a $500 PC also, and I'll put the description to those parts down there in the description down below. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in buying a decent budget desktop, or building a decent budget desktop. Those are just my opinions, you know. I mean, yes, I do have a nice laptop. It's the $800 laptop, but you know, it's not always the thing to do if you're on a budget. So anyway, guys, like this video if you like it. You know, hit that subscribe button for more great videos to come, and you know, be sure to hit the notifications button so that you get notified whenever I post new videos, and so on and so forth. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.